Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back. Sunday night, the 26th of October. The clocks have gone back. League One is still here. Lots to go through. 2 managerial sackings, a goal in every single game, new managerial bounces, Thursday night football, derby days galore. It was an eventful one. It's been a big week. After I saw the results, I was quite worried about a show, thinking it's kind of very samey. There was not many goals in the first half the other day, so it's going to be interesting. But before we do, let's get him in. But has anyone seen Lincoln City, my Tuscan baller? Can you hear me, Jake Tongue? Your boys took one hell of a beating. Lincoln Cathedral, Sue Spears, Steve Hill, the Imps, Lincoln Sausages, FA Cup quarter-finalists, the only team in non-league to do it. Danny Cowley's old boys, Lincoln City, the Tin Pot Club from Lincolnshire. Your team took one hell of a beating. Jake Tongue, the man with the unbearable tone all season. Jake Tongue, can you hear me?
I can hear you, mate. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hello. All right.
Do you know what, mate? I find it very, very flattering that you're all preying on our downfall. Put it that way. Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm okay, mate. Thank you. I'm fine. It's a game of football. It's a game of football. It's one game of football. It's not a problem. These things happen over the course of a season. You're going to lose games. So, look, it wasn't an important game. We go again on Tuesday. How are you, mate? Are you okay?
I'll be honest with you. I've been very poorly this week. I was meant to upload a League Two video, and there was no League Two video.
I couldn't tell, mate. Just the way you just did. You just did your best Jason Cundy impression. You couldn't tell.
Yeah, well, I had no voice on Thursday, and luckily it came back. And then, like an absolute imbecile, the last 15 minutes, I'm shouting Chet Evans and Fleetwood Town on for 3 points. So then it was battered again. Last night it was in a bad way, and it still is now, but I just had to rest for the last 2 hours so I could get that speech out. But if you could say hello in the chat below, yeah, good weekend for me involved. Good game at the football, and yeah, happy to do it all over again. Hello, Potomac.
Shock horror. Shock horror is the first one. By the way, left a comment an hour before we started the live stream. Eh? An hour before we started the live stream. Oh, there's a shot. Burton won. There's David. Evening, Parmex. Hope you had a lovely weekend, mate. I know you did.
There we are. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hello, Charlie. Hope you're well. Hello, Chris. Hope you're well. So do I.
James Collins. On the bench. That's how good our squad is.
Yes. And absolutely, if you could hit the like button, that would be appreciated down below. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. I'm going to need you tonight, very much so. So
you didn't say that to me. You didn't say that. You didn't say you needed me tonight. You need the comments.
I do.
I see how it is. I see how it is. No, I see how it is, Ben. I'm going to act like my ex. I see how it is, Ben.
Did you match with the Sophie on Hinge?
I did, mate. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've matched with quite a couple actually.
Oh yeah, and I would then palm you off. I said to Jake before, it was gutted that this girl didn't really, speak to him to the next level. I went, look, Lincoln City can't go on by Alfie May or Joe Taylor. Look, Lincoln have got to be resourceful, and with respect, Jake, there's resources for you, mate. And sometimes you've just got to respect your league and respect what you can actually achieve. And if anyone does come to you that are pretty and a little bit glamorous, you've probably got a bad injury record or bad history behind them. And that's where they're going for you because others have rejected them.
Hold on. What level did you say you were competing at?
The National League, mate.
The National League. There we
Sutton.
A league in which Fleetwood might well compete in next season if you're not careful.
Oh, well, we're halfway to safety. So, and you're getting really excited about your stat. We're only 2 points behind your total.
How many games have you played?
14.
14. Game in hand, 2 points clear.
You play. Right. Let's start. If you could all subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Oh, and what a guy. Shane.
I saw him yesterday.
Before we start. Say again.
I believe I saw Shane's bongos yesterday.
Oh, what a guy. Shane, I always appreciate the donations. Thank you so much. They do help me go a long way as well. So thank you very much. Round of applause for Shane, as always. Let's start off with the Devon derby. Exeter 2, Plymouth 0. And Exeter have actually alternated between winning and losing their last 7 home league games against Argyle. 4 wins now and 3 draws. They lost their last one before this in 1-0 in April 2023, and they won this 2-0 on Thursday. 10 points in 7 home games now for the Grecians. Plymouth thought they were turning the corner, lost 4 of the 6 on the road, and they've now lost 2 of the last 3, drawing the other one. Before that, they'd actually won 4, drawn 1, lost 1, and they were feeling like they were turning the corner. The other night, I saw a very flat, very poor, and a very bad showing. Questions being asked of Tom Cleverley, a lot of questions being asked on certain players. Brendan Wiredu coming up for a lot of stick, who did have the ball in Exeter's net for the second consecutive trip there for Brendan Wiredu that got disallowed. So, Exeter 2, Plymouth 0, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, he had the ball in the net, and to be honest, if we're being technical about it, the goal probably should have stood, right? Because it's played by...
By the way, the one for Fleetwood at Exeter should have stood, and we got 2 bad decisions against us in that month of February, right? Brendan Wiredu and a red card at Lincoln. They don't go against us. We're on the show right now, but I'm over it.
Ben, I've got a present for you. Wait there. Just wait. Let me go and get it. Wait there. Hold on. Wait, I'm coming back. Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? It's a little violin. It's a little violin. I want you to play it, Ben. You are. Yeah. Shut up. Stop moaning. Stop bloody moaning about Fleetwood. You're not relevant anymore. You know this, Ben. Yes, I thought Plymouth actually, like I say, should have gone a goal in front. I thought it was wrongly disallowed. And that pretty much summed the look up that Plymouth have got over recent weeks, and maybe Exeter as well in that manner as well. But to be fair to Exeter, I did think they were full value with the 3 points. Several occasions where they had opportunities. There was one where Niskanen hits the post, Reece Cole forces Connor Hazard into a really good save. And in that first half, I think Plymouth were actually lucky that it was only just they were just a goal behind. I mean, the goalkeeper on the first one is horrific from Connor Hazard, who's someone that Plymouth fans have been longing to get back into the team. You know, not Tay Ashby Hammond, his brother, Luca Ashby Hammond, has made a number of high-profile mistakes since taking over from Connor Hazard in the summer. It was a bad showing for them. But Exeter, Huggins getting the second goal, really good ball in. I thought they were really good value for it, and it was a really good win. It feels special, doesn't it, when you win a derby game like that, under the lights, at home, in front of the Sky cameras. I thought Exeter were top notch and were probably valued for the win. Plymouth, a little bit worrying. Didn't see Talai get involved in the game whatsoever, really. Had a couple of flash moments, went over the bar, but they never really, besides the goal that was disallowed for offside, Plymouth never really threatened Exeter. I thought they were comfortable. Joe Whitworth didn't have to make any really good saves. He didn't have to waste time like he did the other weekend. That
week as well, didn't they?
They did win that week, mate. Yeah. A really good professional performance from Exeter, and I thought they were dominant. And if they can play like that against teams that are in and around them, like Northampton, maybe the likes of Burton, teams like in that sort of region of the table at this minute in time, Exeter gives themselves a really good chance of staying up. So massive win for Exeter. Really good little speech at the end in the dressing room, if you've seen it, from Gary Caldwell, about what it means to win that derby as well. So, they're on a good little run now, Exeter, and I'm sure their fans are now looking up rather than looking down.
I'm a big believer. I think Exeter are those types of clubs that get all their points in bulk. And what I mean by that, they go on these 5, 6, 7 game splurts where they can go and win 3 or 4 and draw a couple and maybe only lose 1. And if you do that 3 times a season, you can get enough points to get near enough to safety. Then you just got to win now and again. Now look, Exeter are averaging about 1.1 points a game at this moment in time, and they're doing well. They've won 2 of the last 4. They've drawn the other. Lost the other week. They have lost 8 games of 14. That looks poor. When you're looking at that, because Peterborough 9, Blackpool at 8, Plymouth 8, but Exeter have won games that others have drawn, and that is a big difference. Picking up an extra 2 points, and the 3 points above the dotted line. There's still a long way to go, but I think Gary Caldwell and I think Kevin Nolan at Northampton are 2 very similar managers, that they get a tune out of their team, and they go on a spirit, they go on a resoluteness of trying to be tough to play against, good defensively, good on second balls, good at second, set pieces. And after the game, I think you saw that speech. I thought the togetherness in there was very much like Northampton. That if you have that in these lower leagues of football, that's what you need. Spirit and endeavour can take you a long, long way. And if you don't have that, you're long in the tooth and you're going to struggle. So, yeah, I was really impressed with Exeter. I thought they got in Plymouth's faces. They wanted it more. A superb atmosphere in St James's Park, and it can be like that. And Gary Caldwell, I think it was like maybe Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday, where it was 3 years in a job, and it was actually, I believe it was Fleetwood was his first game, or no, Fleetwood was the game before he got announced. And I remember him being at the ground, and there was a lot of people not very sure on it, because he did okay at Wigan, he got a promotion, but that squad should have gone up. That's what he got labelled with, and you're in a no-win situation. If you get it up, well, you should do, and if you don't, you're a failure. And then in year 2, obviously you underachieved a little bit, then gone over to Scotland and been out the game for a little bit. But I think he's got better year on year with his exercise. He's always been start well and then fade, but finish well and stay up. And sometimes he goes on these runs where you think he can't come back from this, and he finds a way. Look, he's on a low budget. It's a fan-owned club, and you think, how are they going to do it this year? But they find a way. And I think Exeter City, it is their togetherness. It is the fans. It is the ownership there that makes them special. I genuinely think if they had a rich owner that could able to compete with, maybe not like throw millions into it, but have, say, a Wycombe budget or a Burton budget, for example, who are slightly more fortunate than an Exeter. That are obviously Burton's budget this year is a bit lower than it has been, but so maybe not a Burton, maybe a Port Vale, for example. I think they'd lose something a little bit. I think they'd lose that thrive of being who they are. So I think them being what they are, and them obviously they'd want more money, but I think that sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for, and I think they got a perfect blend, and long may it continue. Plymouth were a shambles. I thought that they went there with their Plymouth egos, their championship status, thinking they're better than Exeter City. Look at you, you can keep your cop, and what a small little dump of a stadium, and fan-owned club. We've got more money, we've got a more glamorous team than you, and they got absolutely. It wasn't even the case that Exeter City were better on the day, which they were. They fought more. They ran all over Plymouth, and that in a derby. From a Plymouth perspective, you cannot take. You cannot go out there in any game of football, never mind the derby, and be outrun, be outfought. That for me is a non-negotiable. It really is that. Patterson. You've got to go out there and fight. Exactly, doing well. I want to see spirit. I want to see fighting. I don't care if my teams aren't the greatest or lose games. I can tolerate that. But when I'm watching my sides, personally, especially in derbies, I want to go out there thinking those players have run into brick walls. I don't think they are. And I don't think this is on Tom Clever. They'll blame him all you like. The guy's had 14 games. At the end of the day, yes, Plymouth are in the bottom 4 and are struggling. But it 13 games they're in, 4 wins. The problems run deeper. The problems run deeper in terms of ownership and the budget, and there are football clubs that have come down. Luton have been struggling, this year as well. Up until a good win the other day. It's difficult. It's a real difficult one for Argyle, I think, Jake.
Yeah, it is. And they've struggled all year on the road, haven't they? Really, like you look at it, the results away from home, bar a convincing win at Burton. they've been easy to play against, and I thought they were quite easy to play against. I thought obviously the occasion helped the Exeter players get over the line, but they never tested Exeter. They never, and it was similar sort of when we played them again at the start of the season. They're so easy to play against. They're so easy to figure out what they want to do. They want to get the ball on the deck, but sometimes football, especially this time of year, in the conditions that were on Thursday, it was wet, it was windy, it was a bit of a cauldron to walk into, and they just tried to play the same way as they have all season, and they didn't adapt, and that's the problem with this Tom Cleverley team. They haven't adapted to anything whatsoever. So, yeah, I do fear for Plymouth, and I do worry about their fans. I think the expectations were really high this year. They spoke in the summer about how they've got a top 6 budget. They've gone and got a manager who did some really good things in the Championship last year. All things were looking good. They spent 1.2 mil on a brand new shiny centre forward. Things were looking good. Then the season starts and they're just playing this predictable, boring football. And I don't think it's going to wash with Argyle fans for much longer. Certainly as a convincing defeat as they had on Thursday night, I would be worried if I was Tom Cleverley at this minute in time, because we've spoken about, and we've answered the question of who are the managers that are in trouble at this minute in time. Well, the 3 that we've spoken about this season, Steve Bruce, Darren Ferguson, Noel Hunt, have all gone. So the next man that you worry about from a managerial point of view is Tom Cleverley at this minute in time, because he is not getting the best out of that group, who are a very decent side, just not going their way at the moment.
Yeah, it is a struggle, and it's not the first time they've been bullied and battered all over the park. Plymouth fans, let us know in the chat down below. Exeter fans, delightful. Keep your comments coming. Those pesky imps losing again. Shout out to Robin, who has been waiting for 2 hours to watch us. Poor soul. Thank you very much, Robin. Appreciate your support and appreciate everyone that's watching. If you could all do us a favor, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already. That'd be appreciated. Plymouth have some very good players at the moment. Watts, stand out to me. Big impact players when fit. Yeah, exactly. But a lot of players have got injuries at the end of the day. And for me, that's why I have a squad. Next game, let's move on. Blackpool, new manager in the week, Ian Evatt, came into the building. Peterborough 1, Blackpool 2. Blackpool have also alternated between winning and losing in their last 4 away games at Peterborough. Last loss 5-1 last year in October 2024. He was in that period where Steve Agnew was caretaker just as Bruce came in. Now, obviously, unfortunately, had to go on a leave. Big win for Blackpool because it was the first win away from home and the first time they've actually scored more than 1 goal on the road. Big win for Ian Evatt, big week. A lot of good interviews. He wants to play on the front foot football. He wants to dominate. He wants to get Blackpool where I think he should be. I won't say it. I think that he will get time because of what he was as a player. Ian Evatt is Blackpool's, my opinion, best modern day defender. And I watched a lot about Ian Evatt when he was at Blackpool. He won.
I watched Neil Eardley, mate. He was pretty good.
Yeah, Neil Eardley, Baptiste, good old days. Evatt was there, won a promotion from League One under Simon Grayson, and then stayed in the Championship for 2 years, and then got promoted in that second year, and did third year, I think it was, third year they got promoted, and then had a year in the Premier League and came down and unfortunately left the football club, and then has learned. Look, Blackpool have got a manager now, 350 games, won 50% of them, won a cup, won a promotion, got playoff semi-final, playoff final. He's judged on his last 6 months at Bolton. Let's be honest about it. But for 4 years, he did a steady job. The football wasn't always great, but I think that will come with time at Blackpool. I think that he'll be afforded more time. I think Blackpool are a bit more of a patient bunch than Bolton.
Yeah,
Bolton wants
now
Championship football tomorrow or yesterday. Do you know what I mean? I think that with Bolton, you've got to have a checklist, right? It's Bolton want to go to the game, be entertained, play on the front foot football, win 3-0 and get 3 points and be entertained. Whereas with Blackpool, you want to go and think, fight, compete, have energy, which are non-negotiables anyway, and win. the end of the day, and they don't really care how they play. I think Bolton are starting to get like that now. They don't care how they play as long as they win. Yesterday, they dug themselves out of a proverbial hole where they thought they were going to draw the game, like they did at Huddersfield. And I think this league, I think it's the best appointment Blackpool could have made. And at the time of being a manager, for me, in my lifetime, I go through it, Blackpool haven't made a better appointment than this. Holloway at the time was a gamble, right? Gary Bowyer was a bit like, so it wasn't like, wow, you really want to get Gary Bowyer when you're Blackpool in League Two. Let's be honest. Then they've had likes of Mac Phillips, Paul Ince, Michael Appleton twice. Critchley, first time was a bit of a gamble. Second time I was, don't bring him back. Steve Bruce, Mick McCarthy were on the last legs. I think this is a young, exciting appointment, and I can see what it means to him. I see what it means to the supporters. And when Bloomfield Road is rocking, Blackpool will get going. And that is a great away performance. First goal was a bit comical, but it finds a way. Something that's probably going against them at the minute, but went for them. And then, look, a goal goes against them, 1-1. They could easily drop their heads. Peterborough have a goal disallowed, but they find a way. Scott Banks came on to impact the game and scores a really nice goal, cuts inside, puts it into the far corner. It reminds me of a goal, I think they won there. Was it 1-0 or 2-1 a few years ago? Was it Dembele might have scored? I think they won 2-1 there late on a couple of years ago.
Yeah, they did. Karamoko.
Yeah, Karamoko Dembele, I think, scored for them away.
Down the same end.
Yeah, the same end. Similar type of goal, I think, it as well. And it was a big win for Blackpool. I could see what it meant in the interviews, the supporters on board. And look, Blackpool now will be a tough place to go. It's going to be an interesting one. We'll come to Peterborough in a minute, but a word on Blackpool, Jake. Great yesterday.
When you said you can see what he means to the fans, Ian Everett, did you just look in a mirror and see what it meant to you?
Mate, I'm jealous. I think it's a great... Honestly, I'll take it now, right? I'm in awe of that appointment. I stand back and I think, when you see a perfect fit, I don't think there's many better fits. He's managed to, his experience, he's had 7 years in the game. He's had 8 months out, so he's refreshed. He knows the football club. The fans love him. And his first aim now is just to stay up. Like, Blackpool fans shouldn't be looking any further ahead right now.
Yeah, I think what you're right, and the point I was going to make was the fact the expectation levels at Bolton and at Blackpool are very different. Like you said, Bolton demand and expect you to be at the top end of the league. And to be fair to Ian Everett, during his time at Bolton, I know people will look at the playoff final and they'll look at last season and really downplay his time at Bolton, but like he got them promoted out of League Two when they needed to get promoted out of League Two because they're far too big for League One, never mind League Two. So he got them out of the league. Yeah, he didn't do it massively convincingly, but he still did the job that was asked of him. And then slowly but surely, in a really ever competitive League One, he got Bolton, as a newly promoted team, in and competing. What did they get, Ben? Like 75 points the first year they got up. They came 8th or 9th. And they, that's a big total to come now. And then they got to the playoffs in the last 2 years. Yeah, they haven't won it. But I still think if you look at his overall time at Bolton, I think you can, as an outsider, not as a Bolton fan, of course, consider it as quite successful because he did a decent job. Like they dominated a lot of games of football and maybe didn't get what they deserved on occasion. Yeah, he was stubborn towards the end. And yeah, he made bad decisions. He was bad with the media, right? I'm sure these 8 months out, he's learned and fair enough to him. He looks way more healthy. He looks like he's trimmed down a bit. He looks better for it, doesn't he?
He lost a lot of weight towards the end of his time at Bolton.
He looks refreshed, and that's fair play to him. In terms of I think he might well have been to Turkey for some teeth. But yeah, in terms of yesterday, yeah, I mean, like you say, I think when the equaliser goes in and Peterborough then start to ramp the pressure up a little bit, you got to bear in mind they're coming up against a team who know that if they're probably going to get beat, the fortune of their manager is at stake, in which it was. I think you have to give them credit. I mean, Scott Banks has, he came in really, and I think he's one that sort of snuck under the radar a little bit because everyone talks about Del Taylor, everyone talks about Niall Ennis, everyone talks about Josh Bowler coming back, right? And the big players, Jordan Brown, all these big players at Blackpool, Fraser Horsfall, etc.
He was awful yesterday.
He was. No, yeah, but in terms of the hype when they signed them, I think Scott Banks goes a little bit under the radar because
signed him late as well, didn't he?
He's come from abroad. He's got decent pedigree in this league. He's come from at Palace. He's come from a good academy. He had a really good loan spell at Bradford a couple of years ago in League Two. And he's not really been given much of an opportunity. And then when you look at it in terms of why you can see the wide options that they've got when they've got Josh Bowl and they've got CJ Hamilton, they've got those players. You can maybe understand why Steve Bruce was a little bit reluctant to give a young lad coming in from abroad the opportunity. But I hope for him and for Blackpool, they realise how good of a talent that he is now. That goal yesterday was outstanding. The footwork to shift it onto his left and the finish was outstanding. Like you say, reminded you of the goal that Karamoko scored. That would have been in 23-24 when they nearly got into the playoffs. So, yeah, a really good win for Blackpool. I feel like this is one that can kickstart their season a little bit. It's a big result in terms of they won away at a team that are in and amongst them at this minute in time. So that will do no end for the confidence. And yeah, I mean, it's a top win. It was a good performance, and I don't think you can ask for much more from Blackpool. But Peterborough, Ben, well, the less said about them, the better. They are currently beating our 18s 5-0, to be fair to them, right, in the FA Youth Cup. But they've lost the manager. So,
yes, Darren Ferguson sacked yesterday in a statement that read, "I'm absolutely gutted to lose Darren Ferguson. This football club has been his pride and joy, and the relationship that him and Darren McAntony have built over the years." And look, I like Darren McAntony. I like what Peterborough have done. But DMAT, the recruitment, they need to take responsibility now. A lot of this has been on Fergie for me. Yes, on the manager, the recruitment has been nothing short of diabolical. Now, I'm going to have a dig in here because Peterborough, what they've done over the years has been nothing short of remarkable. The players they have made and sold on that have gone on to play top level football is remarkable. The Boyds, the Dwight Gales, those types of players over the years that there's so many you could mention. Ivan Toney being another one. That 18 months ago I put a tweet going, how good is this Peterborough side? And how good at what they are, what they're doing. And they beat Charlton 2-1 away. Since then, out the 18 that played, which, bear in mind, they're starting 11, 7 or 8 of them every week, if they were fit, were guaranteed to play. Only 2 players in that whole 11. And one's De Havilland, who's in and out of the squad as it is, and the other one's Archie Collins. So you've lost Burrows, Ronnie Edwards, you've lost Steer, you've lost, Ronnie Edwards, you've lost
Burrows, Poku.
Poku, Mason Clark,
Randall.
And unfortunately, you can lose 1 or 2 players. I get you want to be sustainable. I get that you want to make raw profit. I get that you want to sell them for big amounts of money. But some of them they haven't as well, by the way. They've lost money on them. And he's paid them. He did well with the Mason Clark deal where he took a gamble of taking them on loan back from Coventry and not allowing him to go in the January, which he does well there to get fees for them. But you cannot keep rinsing and repeating that cycle all the time. You can do it maybe with 1 player, possibly 2, but you can't do 4 or 5 a window, which they've been doing the last 18 months. And ultimately, you start to drain the drain pipe a little bit. And people have done that. And you look through the squad now, it just looks a bit weak and it looks a bit soft and it doesn't look as filling as it once did. And that is an issue, Jake, that you look through it and it's like, there's good players in it, but it's not a good team. And it just looks like, it doesn't look like a League One side anymore. It looks like there's got some good players in there, but there's so many teams better than them. And ultimately, Peterborough now are without Darren Ferguson, which, look, the form in the last 6 months has been appalling. Fergie won 3 of the last 6. He lost the other 3, but from the last 18 games, 3 wins, 4 draws, 11 defeats, 13 points from a possible 18. It's not great, is it?
Well, I think you look, Ben, through that 11 that they fielded yesterday. How many of those players are experienced, good League One players? Tom O'Connor, Tom O'Connor, probably.
Collins.
I'll give you that. Archie Collins, yeah.
Kyoto.
Yeah. Any more? I'm struggling to find one. In the starting 11.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's any surprise that Peterborough are exactly where they are. And they reacted late in the window to bring in Tom Lees. Yes, I understand Sam Hughes is out injured, who adds a huge amount of experience and depth into that central defence. But still, man, that squad is weak. That squad is spineless and gutless. And they lack any quality. And I think they also lack a little bit of accountability as well. Like I listened to Darren Ferguson's interviews after games and the player interviews as well. And they're basically palming the blame off to anything they can, or the referee this, or the weather that, or the conditions this, the opposition that, they bullied us, or they were more physical. They are making excuses, and DMAT it comes from the worst, because I listen to his podcast and I respect him as a bloke. I think it's really good that he's open, and I think it's really good that he allows football fans to listen to the insight of the football industry, because you don't get to hear most of it as a football fan. You don't get to know what's going on, and to hear what's going on at Peterborough United, who are a pretty good EFL side, is really interesting to someone like me, and I'm sure you find that interesting as well, Ben.
Yeah.
But he goes for it as well. Like, he gives the excuses like, "Oh, we played really well for 10 minutes, and they were absolutely panicking." But this happened and that happened, and when that comes from the top, there is no. It's so understandable why the players are like that, because their boss's boss is playing like is doing the exact. If my boss at work started to come up with excuses why he couldn't do his job, I'd be doing the same thing. You follow your line manager. So look,
there's no excuses why you can't do your job, mate. It's just plain and simple. You're absolutely a load of.
I'm going to assume you just said dyspraxia rather than.
No, I just said you're absolutely a load of gold.
You're a good bloke. Look, I'll be surprised Darren Ferguson's gone. I'm not. I listened to the podcast and he spoke about before the international break, didn't he? Where he said, Darren Ferguson said to DMAC, "Give me the international break 2 weeks. I'll have this team looking better." And we've come out of this international break. They look worse. I don't think they look any better. They got those 2 wins back to back against Wycombe and Plymouth, and since then, bar a bit of a smash and grab away at Burton a couple of weeks last week, they've been poor. And look, the news is that Luke Williams is going to be the man that replaces him. I'm not sure it's my personal pick. I'm not sure I've seen him come in and take a team away from maybe getting relegated and to not. If I was Darren McAntony, I'd be going and getting Dave Artell out of Grimsby, because he has stayed up in this league before with Crewe. He kept that team up. Then in his first season, they came like 12th in the COVID season.
They got ripped apart.
They got ripped apart. But that's what Peterborough do. And what Dave Artell does consistently, Ben, is build good teams. Look at those Crewe teams. Look at Grimsby. He's had people taken off him at Grimsby, and he's built them to a team which they are now, which is really unfortunate and really annoying, which is also partly why I'm putting him forward for the job. But
I think Michael Scabala would be perfect fit.
Yeah, because I've had Reading fans tell me the same today, and I found that absolutely laughable, right? So
bear in mind, this man last time with Luton, Scabala's going nowhere, and now we're like, I'm worried. I'm worried.
Hey? Well, okay, but Luton, irrespective, is different to Reading, right? And Peterborough, we're not even going to entertain that. But Dave Artell would be the guy that I think, because he develops players really well. He's got a proven track record. Look at all the ex-Crewe boys that are doing well, like Perry NG. You've got Pickering. You've got Charlie Kirk, who went to Charlton and made a mess of his career. That's his own fault, right? Connor O'Riordan. There's so many players that have come out of the Crewe system that Dave Artell has nurtured, and that's exactly what Peterborough want to do. Luke Williams plays pretty football, but what about what is that football for a League One relegation battle, Ben? Are they going to play tippy-tappy football like Notts County did, that getting out of the National League and stay up? Because I don't think this team can play tippy-tappy football.
No, I'm not being funny. I agree with what you're saying, and there's nothing. This is not aimed at you. On DMAC, I enjoy his podcast, but I don't support Peterborough United, and I know for a fact examples, right? So when you are losing games of football, and when things are going well, podcasts like that are great. So, for example, when Burton were doing really well under Hasselbank, and he kept them up, and they went on this unbelievable run of form back end of the year in lockdown, when he was on TV, it was like, God's on TV. Oh my God, Gaffer. But then the year later, when Burton is struggling, or 18 months later, when Burton is struggling, and he's still doing it, what you're doing, you should be on the training ground right now. What you're doing, his priorities are all wrong. Same with Darren McCallum doing that podcast. Fans will be like, oh, yeah, you do a good podcast, but you can't do this at a football club. Malarkey, TikTok. When we're winning, performances are all right. Oh, it's great. But then he makes a mistake. He's, put that on your TikTok. Yeah, you know. So I that's the way I see it. If I was a Peterborough fan right now, I would want that to see that podcast because it would make me raging. I don't know about other Peterborough fans. I don't speak for them, but that's just my opinion. The recruitment's let them down. They've recruited soft players, and if you listen to Dan McAntony and didn't watch the game, you'd think Peterborough were a top 6 chasing team and had a great squad and had an unbelievable pool of talent. And I get that you want to be sustainable. I get that you want to sell players, but at what cost? Ultimately, if you do, Peterborough always, I give them something, they always normally bring in a body, right? They do. Whereas I get annoyed at my own football club that over the last 2 years, Fleetwood have lost 3 right backs and 3 left backs. Now they've got 1 each on either side. And one of the right backs that went out has come back in. So that's where I get. Whereas Peterborough, they've got players that they've come in. But the players that they've come in, they've just tried to just the same old sample. Go for the next player from the National League or, League Two and just try and pluck one out. Sometimes you just got to say, right, we need 8 players. We can't go get 5 from there. Let's get 2, and then let's bulk the squad up and just kind of get back to basics, and then put some in over the next 2 years and be patient. I don't think Peterborough are right now. Fergie, I think, has been hung out to dry a little bit, but I think it's about time he took accountability. He parted ways. Next appointment is massive because this Peterborough squad, people think it's too good to go down. It's not. It's miles off it. It really is. And bigger teams than Peterborough have gone down. One last year. Bristol Rovers was bigger than Peterborough. They went down last year. Tell you something as well. That Bristol Rovers team and Peterborough, they're not far off each other. They're cowards.
Yep.
Soft. Think they're better than it. And that's it. This Peterborough side think they are better than what they are.
Nope. You just mentioned Bristol Rovers, Ben. They just drove past.
One thing that Burton and Port Vale and Exeter have, they know what they are. They know what they are, and they accept it to a certain degree, but they fight it. Peterborough are like, relegation. Well, it's fine. We'll get out of it. It's fine. Tell you what, I thought that. I genuinely thought, after the first 7 or 8 games, I thought, we've never been down there like this before. I thought we'd get out of it. It's a plug hole. You're drowning, lads. It's worrying signs. Let's move on to game 3. But before we do so, a couple of donations. Daniel, thank you so much for the donation. Very appreciate it. All donations go back to the channel and does help. I was very shocked about Noel Hunt sacking. Yeah, I read an art on the hunt for a new manager. If you did miss it, we'll come to that very soon. Even though I want him no longer, I'm open for Matt Bloomfield to replace him. Me and Jake, well, Jake certainly has been on the bandwagon of this has been happening for weeks. We had a FaceTime about 11 a.m. this morning, and I said, I think he could go, and he went, oh, they won't after a decent week. And you think, oh, yeah, he'll be fine for another week. 1 defeat in 8 games, and he's sacked. But more to the story. Thank you very much, Daniel, and very much a welcome to our new member. Appreciate it as always.
Donnarumma, mate. It's Gianluigi Donnarumma, that bloke.
Oh, he's yeah. We're at 47 members, 48 members now. So if you want to join the party, we're 2 members away from 50. That'd be appreciated.
40 minutes.
Yeah, we'll wrap up. Don't worry. Wycombe 3, Huddersfield 0. Alfie May sending off change this one, Jake.
Yep, correct.
333rd appearance in the English football. First sending off for Alfie May. Michael Duff, 11 points in 6 matches since taking over. 3 wins, 2 draws and a defeat. Huddersfield, though, 25 points from their last 25 League One games. Struggling, like me.
Red card though, definitely. I don't know what Alfie May's doing. It just horrific. I remember Alfie May going to Adams Park and tearing him apart for Cheltenham in that 5-5 draw a couple of years ago. What he's come to, I've got no idea. It's a really poor decision because until then, I spoke to James, who's a big Town fan, and he said he felt quite comfortable up till then. They had a couple of half chances. Huddersfield not created a huge amount themselves in that first period, but the sending off changes the game, and it does. When you're 10 men defending for an hour, it's difficult because you've got to do the running of 11 men, and that is very, very tough. Yeah, really poor approach play, trying to play the ball long into Joe Taylor, which we've spoken about before. It just isn't going to work. Someone of his height isn't going to win headers. But in fairness to Wycombe, I thought in the second half when the space opened up, I thought they took the chances. A good finish from Macaulay Woodrow for the first one. I think it's Fred Onyedinma, isn't it, that gets the second one. And then a bit of an own goal for the poor lad Vost right at the end to really rub salt into the wounds. But yeah, I think whilst the heat will rightly be on Huddersfield and Lee Grant, and whether they get him out or whether they decide that he's not working, which I think at the start of the season, Ben, me and you had little reservations about whether this was going to work in the first place. I think you have to give huge credit to Michael Duff since he's gone in at Wycombe, because since he's gone in, they've been very decent, and this is a big win for them, a bit of a statement win, because it puts them up to 16 points now, only 8 points off the playoffs. Yeah, the team in sixth have got a game in hand, fortunately. But still, he's done a very good job since arriving at Wycombe Wanderers. He's given them an identity. They're playing, yesterday where they had way more of the ball than they would have been expecting against a Huddersfield team. Way more shots, limited them to just one shot on target. 7 times the touches in the penalty area as Huddersfield Town, who spent the money they did in the summer. Fair play. A really convincing, good win for Wycombe Wanderers, and I think Michael Duff deserves a huge amount of credit, because that will be, that win. We thought when Michael Duff was sacked at Huddersfield, it was maybe a little bit harsh and maybe a little bit premature. That will be two fingers back at Huddersfield Town, and I think Michael Duff will definitely have enjoyed his Saturday evening.
I was baffled why they got him sacked, because you're putting the manager at the start of the year to do a job, and yeah, they lost the way a little bit, but they were just 16 games unbeaten a bit previously. I think they won 2 of 10 after that. But since they sacked Michael Duff, tell you what, the 2 games before Michael Duff got sacked, he lost his last 2. In League One, Huddersfield have won 8, drawn 1, lost 16. Since he's been sacked, they've lost 14. That is still only 25 points from a possible 23 games. This is now only 7 points from the last 8. They've lost now 3 in a row. And every side they play that I think have got a decent side they've lost to. I don't think they've beaten a really, really, really good side and played well. They beat Stevenage, fair play, good victory at home. Beat Doncaster, solid. But beat Exeter away, 1-0 with their only shot on target. Beat Reading just about. But then they've been humiliated time and time again. And they just look at a team of egos. And they're not playing for each other. And they think they should be better than each other. And it's a new team put together. It will take time. Wycombe, again, they've gone back to what they're good at. Effective. They can go direct. Get balls in the channel. Having wingers out wide. I think Bell and Onyedinma out wide were outstanding yesterday. And Bell, since coming in, has been really good. Corley Woodrow scoring his first goal in open play for 18 months. Last one for Luton against Crystal Palace. It's a good victory. Michael Duff is a solid League One manager that likes managing sides that don't really expect, but don't. You know what I mean? I think with Huddersfield, they're expecting everything now. They're on Lee Grant's back. It's toxic. It's going to end one way. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Lee Grant, I don't think he went over to the supporters. He threw plays under the bus. I'll be honest with you. I often see a defeat away from home, player getting sent off, normally as one, a change up in the goalkeeper, which they've done as well, another thing. They've tweaked formation and manager not going over to the supporters. That normally means a corner flag. that normally means the manager losing his job. And I think that Kevin Nagel is only not sacking him because he appointed him in the summer, but also because he said what he did. That is a perfect fit. He understands what we want to do, and there's Northern football comment. And I think if he sacked him now, he'd be able to look stupid. I think he's waiting on it for as long as he can to get out of it. Cowardly a little bit. But this Huddersfield team needs to get better. It wasn't going to work overnight. It just feels like they're a team of individuals, go out there and do what you want, free roll, Blackpool style. And ultimately, good size. It reminds me very much of FIFA. It's like giving me an absolute team of legends, and icons, as they now call it, with team of the weeks in there. And I'm playing Harry Eskiv, who got 40, with a bronze team, right? He'd probably beat me. Just because I've got the glamorous side doesn't mean they're any good together. That's what I'd say. And Wycombe are a League One side. Bear in mind, Wycombe are only 3 points behind Huddersfield. Bear in mind. Yes, they played a game more. That's how tight this league is. Huddersfield are only 3 points off Exeter in 18th. So you'll say Huddersfield, the 9th. They're not great. They are not great. And I don't see anything with them that the sides around them, I think, okay, I see things there but with that Huddersfield Town team, I don't see anything right now. Big few weeks coming up for them. I tell you what, they have got to start winning games of football. That game against Plymouth on the 8th of November is not just a League One game. I'm going to call it the El Sacchio because they are two football. It'll end a draw, probably. But those two managers came in the summer, big fan bases, big expectation. Tell you what, both sides are miles off it, absolute miles off it. Then they've got to go to Cardiff. Then they've got to go away at Mansfield. Then they've got to go away at Luton on a Tuesday night. I don't see it getting better. They might pluck a result up, but I think it will carry on in this vein. Yeah, they're called the Terriers. They've got no bark. They've got absolutely no bark. They've got no pedigree chum. They're just left there and they just look lost, like a lost puppy. Never mind the terrier. They look like a lost puppy. Quite frankly, pathetic.
They look like a slush puppy more than a terrier, don't they?
Yeah, all credit must go to Wycombe. For one side being bad, I think side, Wycombe, although they had the extra man, excellent since Duff's gone in.
Yep. Proved
a point. I like the appointment. I like what Wycombe are about. I'm not about this fancy football in League One. I'm all about direct football, get up and at them, balls out wide, cross into the box. All for what Wycombe are trying to do. Full credit. 85 in the stream. If you've not liked already, please give us a like, subscribe down below. As we quickly move on through our games, Yorkshire Derby time, Barnsley 0, Rotherham 1. A team we've given a lot of stick to, we must now give a lot of credit to. Rotherham, 3 wins on the bounce, winning 1-0 away at Northampton, winning 1-0 away at Barnsley. You wait for a 1-0 and you get 2 along at once. They're like buses. 5 games this year they've won. They've won 3 by 1-0 and 2 by 2-1. So they're winning fine margin football. First win at Oakwell since 1969. And first win against Barnsley in 12 games. Great win for Rotherham, Jake.
Great goal.
Great. That's what he's all about.
Yeah, great. It's such good technique, isn't it? On the edge of the box to hit it first time, to right into the corner as well. I saw the highlights of this one. I thought Rotherham took their moment, that was the difference yesterday, wasn't it? Rotherham created maybe 1 or 2 moments. There was one that Dan Gore hit that I think was narrowly wide. And then this one, they both came from set-piece situations, which Rotherham have to be good at because we know that outside of that, they have been limited this season. If you've watched enough of them, they've been very good at that, attritional part of the game, defending set pieces, defending the box very well, certainly in recent weeks. And that's where their opportunities came. So fair enough to Matt Hamshaw, because I know me and you have given him a lot of stick about his position and how he's able to be the main man. I think if you're looking at this from a Barnsley point of view, and it's not to discredit Rotherham at all because they were brilliant and they deserve huge amounts of plaudits for it. You can only do what you can do, and to go and win at Oakwell is not an easy task, certainly this season, because under Conor Hourihane, Barnsley have been better at Oakwell than they have been on the road. Barnsley had so many chances yesterday, and when you are in a bit of a when you're not playing perhaps as well or to the levels that you maybe expected, you need your goalkeeper to come and help you out. And I thought it was Cam Dawson in goal yesterday, wasn't it? Hold on, I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, Cam Dawson. I thought he played his part really well, made some really good saves, controlled his area really well, got some really big claims, and commanded that area. And I thought he kept them in it because Barnsley had lots of chances. Reyes, Cleary. Yeah. To be fair, I watched the highlights. David McGoldrick, I thought, was the best player on the pitch by about 5 country miles. He's still got it, Annie, David McGoldrick. Like the little touches, the little bit of flair to beat a man. Yeah, and I thought it had, it was basically a tale of one team took the chances, similar enough to a couple of games that we're probably going to talk about later on. I thought Rotherham took their chance and Barnsley didn't take any of their chances. And on another day, you're probably talking Barnsley maybe take 1 or 2 and it's a completely different game. But they didn't, and that you have to give a lot of credit to Rotherham United for. And like I say, that strike from Kean Spence on the edge of the box got me excited. It was a wonderful goal.
Been a while since you've been excited. No, a great win for Rotherham. Matt Amshaw deserves all plaudits. We gave it him a few weeks ago. Good turnaround. Still work to be done. Barnsley, I do struggle to see where it's going. No winning 5 now. Drawn the other 2-2. Lost 3 games. Worrying signs for the side from Oakwell. Bolton 1. Cardiff 0. Breathe, Bolton fans, breathe. Koji Dewberry's last 3 League One goals for Bolton in the 90th minute or later. 93-15 against Leyton O, 94-06 against Huddersfield, and 93-36 yesterday. All clinching an extra 5 points for Bolton Wanderers, which are a massive 5 points. Grabbing a point off Cardiff, adding 2 to themselves, doing the same to Huddersfield, but grabbing a point off Leyton O away from home. He is a little gem, isn't he? And I think when Brighton want him back, whether it's in January, it should be at the end of the year. It'll be like, get your hands off him now. What a player. And certainly one of the best players so far this season, Jake. Great win for Bolton.
Yeah, it is a massive win. It's what I would call a statement win, this one. And they've had a couple of those recently, the one at Huddersfield as well. But this one is a real statement win. And I think they deserved it, really. Watching the extended highlights, I thought they dominated the game completely. And maybe should have been in front before they actually were. But yeah, man, this kid, Mario Kozadoubi, is an absolute joke. Like, I'm just on my hands and knees for Brighton to take him back because he's becoming a bit of a problem, certainly for the teams that are in and around the same part of the table as Bolton Wanderers at this minute in time. So, yeah, I thought, it's like I said, it's a massive statement win for Bolton. They had a couple of chances before. Mason Burstow put one wide. Nathan Trott had to make a really good save as well. Yeah, they were good. Bolton were good. And this is, like I say, a really big win that makes people take note of them because, they're now, only 4 points outside the top? No, 3 points. How many points are they outside the top 6? 1 point. Oh, yeah. It will be 4 on Tuesday, hopefully. Yeah, but a really good win for them. I can't give them credit enough. He's just a joke, isn't he? Like that. And if you look at the goals, Ben, the Leyton Orient goal and the goal against Cardiff yesterday were actually very similar, weren't they? In terms of, I think it's Randall that gives him the ball on both occasions, where he goes out towards the edge of the penalty area, he plays it into him, and he just cuts in on that left foot. And Nathan Trott got a chance. Like it's in the goal before he sees it. So yeah, a massive win for Bolton, starting to really click into gear now, and. Yeah, I think this Bolton team are something to worry about if you're up and around the top 6, because I think they're going to be there for the long haul. I think they'll be hunted down a top 2 spot, if I'm honest with you. I think coincidentally, Ben, I think the teams that played yesterday, these two are the 2 teams that will get automatically promoted out of the league this year. You want Ben? You
It's a great win for them, to be fair to them. 1-0, at home. Only 1 shot on target yesterday in the whole game. Bolton had 17 shots, didn't really test Nathan Trott, but found a way. They've been frustrated at home over the years. They've won the last 4 games now in different circumstances. There's been the glamour against Wimbledon and Wigan, and then there's been testing times in recent weeks at home, but they're finding a way, and they've won 5 games now at home, and that's 16 points from the last 8. They're slowly finding the platform to win games. But for Cardiff, another away game where they've not really shown what they're about. They've had a lot of the ball, but not done a lot with it. That can't continue for too long. Every time they've had a bit of a blip, they bounce back. So let's see how they go on. And look, no team other than Bolton got more points at home. 17 points, 5 wins, 2 draws. The 2 draws, I thought they should have beat Reading. Lincoln hit him with an early goal, and it's 90 minutes to break.
They were lucky. They should have got nothing from the game.
Okay. But yeah, a good win for the Whites. I said it. Wimbledon 0, Burton 1. Said it to you, didn't I? Wimbledon were a 6-game unbeaten run, won 5, drew 1. Burton Albion have picked up 11 points from the last 7. I really like what Burton are about. They're comfortable in their own skin. They're effective. They don't care how they play, as long as they show fight, effort, and get wins. And it's another 1-0 away from home against a good side, miles away from them down south. Good point at Doncaster, good wins at Cardiff and Wimbledon, beat Bolton at home. They're slowly turning a corner. Look, it took them 25 games to get to 15 points last year. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. It was big for them to get this win. All they need to do now is get points. I said to David before, just get between 4 to 6 points a month. You'll be okay if you keep at that vein every month. Don't keep getting 4s, 4, 4. As long as you get 4 and a 5 and a 6, 4, and you spread the points out, that's all you need to do and get the odd win here or there. Under Gary Bell, they've got fight, they've got belief, they've got spirit, and they play, how they should do. Wimbledon 0, Burton 1, great win. Look, they've only lost 3 of 17 against AFC Wimbledon, winning 7, drawing 7. Brilliant victory. And unbeaten in 10 against the Wombles, and another 3 points for Gary Bowyer's tricky Brewers.
Brewers. Absolutely love it, mate. Yeah, what a win that was. A little bit smash and grab, admittedly, but they did have chances. I think when you go to Wimbledon, who are on a really good unbeaten streak, and they're beating some good teams at home, you need luck to go your way. And when they miss a penalty, and then Godwin Malifa kicks it onto his own post, I said this to David this morning. I said, surely you felt like that would have been your day when they've missed a penalty and that you basically tried to clear it and it's got against your own post. Brad Collins made a really good save. It's a poor penalty for Mobile McGill, I'll be honest. But you need to ride your luck. But then Burton, I thought, really took the game to them. Charlie Webster in midfield was outstanding again. I'm sure everyone loves I'm sure you're going to insert a picture of Charlie Webster at some point because I know you love to do that. He played really well in midfield. I know a lot.
Why would I do that?
Because you like winding me up, mate. It's your job.
Yeah, but why Charlie Webster?
Because we're talking about him.
Yeah, but he didn't score yesterday, did he?
No, he didn't. He got the assist though. Lovely free kick. Good glancing header from Alan Hart.
I know he scored against Cardiff in a 1-0 win back.
But were you in? The season which he scored the goal in? Were you in League One that season?
But
so when you played
we
Trump
had much
card,
relevance to League One, right? Fleetwood as Lincoln did. How did you do last year in League One? Didn't do anything, did you? Either did we. So
no, but we did it in League One and you didn't.
Yeah,
anyway,
right.
Hold on.
No.
We're talking about Burton here, right? We're not talking about Fleetwood. It's just like you to start talking about Fleetwood, isn't it? I know what you're like, right? We're talking about Burton Albion because we never hear enough. We never hear enough about Burton Albion, do we? Do you know what I mean? What a win for the Brewers. Partridge, great glance.
I did this morning.
Great glancing header
Thanks,
from
David.
Mr. Alan Partridge. Wimbledon, I thought, looked lackluster in attack. I thought it was a decent 3 points for the Brewers on the road. I'm sure. I know David was very happy because he sent me a nice voice note at full time. So yeah, a good win for them. Wimbledon. I think if the penalty goes in, obviously it's a completely different game, isn't it? That they maybe go on and become the home banker, which everyone thought they were going to be. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic win for them. Well done to Gary Bowyer.
I think Burton, what I like about them the most, defensively solid, good foundations, run for each other. I think Burton fans can never accuse their team these days of, you can say, oh, we got outrun, we got out, they're better than us. But 90% of the time, they fight, they show spirit, they block. Brad Collins, by the way, a word on him, he's, for me, been one of the best goalkeepers in the division. Since coming in, he's coming to the side that no wonder why they've had an upturn in form. Hartridge, what a signing. They're doing it on a limited budget. How they do it and the turnover over the years they've done it is quite frankly, ridiculous. And Burton have now kept 5 clean sheets, 4 and 7 for Brad Collins, 1 goal against him in every 105 minutes, 39 shots on target faced. He could be a big part of Burton Albion. And we'll talk about players that they've lost, talk about players who have come in and made an impact into their football club. Great win, more to go. They need to keep racking up these points. I'd say if they can be in the next, take it 15-game period. After 15-game period, I think what they're at 14 games now, I think. Burton Albion, 13 games. If they can get to maybe 17 points after every 15 games, I don't think that's too far off possibility. And then you've got 1 game to spare and try to get 52 points, stay up for another year. I don't know if David's heart could take it if they took it to the last 2 or 3 games. So you're on your own with that, mate. Good luck. But he'd take it if they stayed in the division. So yeah, great victory for the Brewers. Northampton 0, Luton 1. Jack Wilshere's first away game in charge. Luton secured their first win at Northampton since a 1-0 win back in February 2001, ending a run of 4 consecutive defeats against the Cobblers. 6 wins for Luton this year. All to nil. 4 by 1-0. Wimbledon, Doncaster, Wigan Athletic, and Northampton. 2-0 against Peterborough, and then 3-0 against Burton Albion. The final way wasn't glamorous, wasn't pretty, but all that matters was when Fanny put it into the onion bag. 1-0. Great victory for Luton Town away at Northampton. For Northampton, though, what I feared, I'm not going to be too harsh on them because I think they've had a really good start and points-wise they're okay and they're not conceding many. They're at 16, 17 points. But Northampton are built on, let's not concede, let's be tight-knitted, which they've been. They've lost the last 2 1-0, right? I just fear there's going to be a lot of them where they lose 1. I've said it previous weeks, where they'll lose 1-0 or 2-1 because they can't quite score themselves. And the in-games, they don't have enough quality to win them. I just worry they need to get out of that habit. I fear if they score first, they'll win a lot of games 1-0. But when they go behind, against Doncaster, they found a way. I just worry about them.
Yeah, I watched them on Tuesday. And
I know you're a big fan of Northampton and what they do, and we differ. But I just fear, I feel that they need a lot of opportunities to take them. That's how I see them.
Yeah, I get that. I watched them on Tuesday, like I said, away at Reading, and I thought they should have won the game. I think they should have had a penalty at 0-0, which would have changed the game. I was really impressed with Ethan Wheatley. I thought he handled Paddy O'Connor particularly well. And that was without Cam McGeehan as well, who's been a massive player for them over the last sort of 14 to 16 months since coming into the club. So, I thought they were hard done by on Tuesday against Reading. And that win basically gave Noel Hunt Saturday to managing, didn't it? And yesterday, I think they were unlucky yesterday again, Ben. Like Luton, they had the chance. Naki Wells puts one well over the bar. The goal from Fanny, I'm going to go with, is well worked from Luton. But let's not pretend Northampton didn't have any chances. There's a good save from the goalkeeper from a Cam McGeehan free kick. There's one that's cleared off the line from Ethan Wheatley. And if he puts a slight hint of power, more power on it, that goes over the line and they get something. And, I thought, I only watched the 2-minute highlights. I've not seen the entire game. I thought Northampton maybe could and should have got something yesterday. So I think the performances are there. I think the results are what is worrying. And on the face of it, you see the results and you go, well, they've lost back-to-back games 1-0. Well, I think Kevin Nolan will be quite encouraged with what he's seen over the last 180 minutes of football this week. So, you're right. I do like Northampton.
One shot on target away at Reading, and you're talking about. That's what I mean. I get what you mean.
Looking at stats, it's the eye test. It was the eye test.
I get what you mean, and they are in games, right? But ultimately,
you lost your rag at me when I said that about you.
You said that, right? They are in games, right? I give you that. They have enough quality to compete with anyone in this division. They're well set up. I like what Nolan's doing, and ultimately, I think they will stay up, right? I do, right? But one thing I do think, I just think that they will compete, and in both boxes, if there is going to be one goal scored, it'll be the other team that win it 1-0 and be a smash and grab. I don't think that Northampton have got the Hurricanes to smash. I feel that maybe one every 3 they'll do it, and the other 2 they'll lose. But that'll be enough at the end of the day to possibly stay up. But I just feel that they can go on a run. They are built on, they don't score many goals, right? They might create, but they don't score many goals. Jake, they've scored 10 goals. We're having Peterborough on here but Northampton are built on being good defensive. They've conceded 9 less than Peterborough. That's why they are where they are, right? If they were as open at the back, they'd be bottom of the league. Because they've got quality in forward areas, don't get me wrong, but I don't really see it as imposing. I think other teams have got more in forward areas, and they're built on a spirit, and they're built on, I don't think that the way they are playing and the way that they are built on being resolute defensively, in my opinion, right, will hold up over 46 games. I could be wrong. I think they'll stay up still, but I think there'll be a period. I would say I'm going to go January to March, maybe, where I could see Northampton going 7 or 8 without a victory. But I could ultimately see Northampton going 4 or 5 without defeat and keeping clean sheets. It's just what way it goes. I know Northampton fans probably don't like what I'm saying, but that's just my opinion.
I
You're
think
very positive on Northampton all the time, and I'm quite against them.
I do. I think when you sit and watch them, I think there are lots of things to like about Northampton. And I do get your point about the goals. I do. But I think Kevin Nolan's drilled them into a team that they create chances. They do create chances.
It's got to be what they are. I get that.
And they do have moments. And like you say, you're right, Ben. They are Northampton in League One. Right? They are probably bottom 4 budget. They can only get what they can get in, so they are reliant on loan players.
He plays in Burton. Burton have scored 1 goal more. So
this is it, right? And Northampton are how many places above Burton in the league table, right? So I think we need to give
2 points above them, playing an extra game.
Well, they're still above them. Do you know what I mean?
I get that, but look, they are showing side progression. You've got to play that way. I just don't think. I think that. Ultimately, I think like Exeter, they remind me very much of Exeter over the last 2 seasons.
Northampton Town will win enough games, 1-0 or 2-1.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they'll stay up. I've never said they'll go down once. I just think they'll go on a bad period of where we're talking about Northampton again, fine margin footy. It's fine margin footy. It's about moments. It is.
That's what you are. I
think Northampton, for 90% of matches, are as good as any team in this division and will get enough points. But I think in the 10%, they'll lose a lot more games than they'll win. Because ultimately, the other team will go down the end, put it in the goal, and they can't respond. That's just my opinion.
That's fair enough.
I think that you've got a soft spot for Northampton.
What was that?
Cobblers for Me podcast.
Charles is a good bloke. Charles is a really good bloke, but it's nothing. It isn't to do with them. I genuinely think I've watched them. I've watched them a couple of times this year, and I've been impressed. Genuinely, I know you look at stats, and I know you look at you break it out, but the eye test for me never fails, and I've been really impressed with Northampton. So,
it's your eyes, and good luck, Jesus.
Come on, then.
Leyton O 1, Lincoln 0.
Next game.
Talk to me.
Okay, we'll talk to you. It was a game of half chances, which Leyton Orient took one and we didn't. You can't expect to win. You can't expect to get a point or win at Brisbane Road if you play for 25 minutes across the spell of 90 games. And yesterday was a massive off day for us. First 10 minutes, I thought we were brilliant. I thought maybe could and should have been at least a goal up. There's one that goes onto the bar. The Leyton O put his flag up every blooming time we went forward, which wasn't helpful. But I thought we came out the traps much quicker. We pressed them really well, harassed them. But then we stopped. And what stopped it is a really silly yellow card for Tom Bayliss, which I thought the referee got that particular decision wrong. I don't think there's any contact. I don't think Tom Bayliss touches the lad. He falls over. It's a foul, but I don't think it's a yellow card. Leyton Orient, and to their credit, they get in the game. Connolly is a real nuisance down the left-hand side. They play like a 4-2-3. I think we were expecting them to play with two up front, but fair play to Richie Wellens. He decided to match us up. He put Connolly out on the left, and he was a real problem. Like Tendai Darikwa normally can deal with wingers. He dealt really well with Thierry Gale and Cozy Dubry when we played against Bolton, but Aaron Connolly generally did have his pants down on a few occasions, and that's not a slight against Tendai because he's been brilliant for 16 months or so. And Orient grew into it. They had a couple of half chances. George Wickens made a really, really good save on from a Connolly effort. And it sort of felt like we were just coasting along. And I was chatting to a bloke next to me, a guy called Matt, who saw the game really, really well. And we were talking about we need to make these subs now. Like Rico Hackett wasn't having a good day. Tom Bayliss on a yellow card, and we'll come on to that when we talk about the goal. Wasn't having a good game, and we needed to change it. And the goal for Leyton Orient was coming. It was progressive. They were getting better. They were building up, and they get it right. And it comes from a ball that comes into midfield, and Tom Bayliss is on a yellow card, and it's a 50-50 tackle that if not on a yellow card, he probably goes and tries and puts his foot in and tries and clears the ball. But he's on a yellow card, and he thought, I best not take a chance. It then ricochets to Michael Craig, who puts a really good ball in, and El Mazouni scores a really good header. I think it's like 16 yards out. It's got an XG of like 0.05, right? And he puts it top bins. And like fair play, it's a really good header. And they probably deserved it at the time. So you can't, like I said, you can't go to Leyton Orient and not play football for 70 minutes and expect to do something. Leyton Orient fans yesterday will come away from Brisbane Road and say, God, if Lincoln are sixth, like what are we doing? Like how are we not in and amongst it? Yesterday was a massive off day for us. We didn't play well, and we threw all the subs on. We threw Collins on. We threw a Bitku on. We threw a Korokwo on. We tried to change it, and it just wouldn't work, right? And I think in football you do have off days, and yesterday was a big off day for Lincoln. And we've had 2 in 4 games now, which is a little bit of a concern. 2 in 3 games in the league, but I have no qualms. Leyton Orient deserved it. I thought they were marginally better. They took their one chance, and it just compels that we have an awful record in the capital. Ben, we have lost 52.34% of our games in the capital when we played against every single team from London. That is now our 18th defeat in 32 at Brisbane Road. Leyton Orient are a team that we beat at home and lose 2 at Brisbane Road. That's just how it works, right? That's just how it works. But yeah, look, no issues. We didn't turn up yesterday, and we got probably what we deserved. So fair play to Leyton Orient. I thought they were decent. They took the chances when they got them. So well done.
Back-to-back clean sheets for Leyton Orient as well. So especially at home, that is, and 2 wins out of 2 against Doncaster and Lincoln. I might upset you here. You won't agree. I talk about moments. Lincoln are put in some very, very good performances this year. When I look at it, and I think front-footed attacking football, where I go through it, and there's a number of games where Lincoln, I think, have been excellent out of the 13 games so far. And I go through it, and the Plymouth game, outstanding. I thought, Reading was solid enough. You move into September, Peterborough away, outstanding. Luton, for me, the best of the lot. I thought they were brilliant. Right. I don't think Lincoln are anywhere near the real deal and the 6th. So that's full testament for them. I don't think Lincoln are anywhere near a top 6 side at all. Let me finish. I'll just let you bang on for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to laugh at you, don't we? I just think that, but what they are good at, and where the season will be judged, where Lincoln City will ultimately turn into a top 6 side, which I think they can do, right? I think they're a good team in moments where they take that opportunity and they find a way, and they are tough to play against. You don't really want to go to Lincoln anyway, but you don't want to go to Central Bank and play football. And they'll make it. But I feel you can get at Lincoln a little bit, and Lincoln can come up with a flat performance now and again. I think that in a big game, if it got to that stage, I think Lincoln are very much not anti-football, but are very much. I think this Lincoln group still feel they shouldn't be where they are, and I still feel there's I tell you what, we're doing well, and they're kind of waiting to be humbled a little bit. I want to see an arrogance from Lincoln that they stroll up at Brisbane Road and have a go. Don't be scared. Don't be backing off. Don't be all pragmatic football. I'll look through it. Not just your 2 defeats away at London. You've had no shots on target in both games, Jake.
Hit the bar, admittedly. There's
not on target, but you hit the bar, okay. But it's still not really good. Stevenage last week, I thought you were better than them, but I still don't think you are. Oh, my God, they were amazing on the eye watch.
We're battered them.
But Stevenage, you're better than them. Against Exeter, you lost 1-0. You've still got that in you, where that frustrating moment in you. Burton Albion 1-0 away from home. Burton weren't great, but you weren't great either. Northampton 1-0 away. That's what I'm on about. Moments. It doesn't matter how you play. It doesn't matter if you're pretty on the eye at all. As long as you win that game 1-0, about moments. Yesterday, Leyton O were better than you. If they didn't take their one moment, it's 0-0. You got a point, great point, and you're thinking, well, hey, wow, we got a point from there. But they took their one moment in the game and they dug it out. It's ultimately, the table will be judged this season on a 20-minute period. In my opinion, every game of that game will ultimately how it be decided. And if you are betting that it'll become any part of the game, if you win that side and you dig it out, you'll win games of football. That's what I just don't think Lincoln believe where they are at the moment. I said it in my video. I can see drop-offs for both Stevenage and Lincoln in the next few weeks for me. But I don't want to see that. I want to see Lincoln competing at the Ultimate League because you're a bit more tolerable when they're winning, actually, than when they're losing.
Well, big chance to react on Tuesday night, right? No better place to go and react. Go and make a statement. Go and win the Valley Parade. Go and put yourself top of the table, right? That's what you say. That's what if you're Michael Scabala.
This is it.
Yeah, right. I understand this. I do understand this. I do. Let me come back at this, right? I understand the low possession, and you say that we have low possession in pretty much every game, and there have been games we've absolutely battered teams without having the ball, right? I don't think you need possession to be good at football. I think if you watch Lincoln, Charlie, and I know you have done an awful lot of Lincoln control games without having the ball, right? And Lincoln are probably the best team in the league at doing so. I don't think there's a better team off the ball than Lincoln in this league. Yeah, we do it every week, right? And we are in control of these games. And you can say, "Oh, you don't have possession enough, you don't make enough passes." But when we do, it's effective, right? So look at that. So you look at when we had the ball against Stevenage, right? They probably had like 60% possession. We were effective, and we created chance on goal. And the thing is, we are creating chances, right? Lincoln are creating chances. It's not like, yesterday, if we take our chances in the first 10 minutes, we go and win that game comfortably. No doubt about it, right? Because we get a goal 5 minutes in, Leyton O heads drop, and I think we go and score, and we can go and score again. So I don't buy into this. You have none of the ball. I'm surprised that you're doing that well, because teams can have Man United don't have the ball very often, and they are. Look at Man United. They're like fourth in the Premier League. So I don't buy into the idea. I
agree with you. I just think with that mentality comes a mentality of we're overachieving here. Tell you what, it's a pragmatic. Look, it's Lincoln City. You watch them every week. You know a lot more about them, and you love and adore them. I think if we're talking about a different team, I think that your view would slightly be different. But it's your club. I get it. I think Lincoln will be a top 10, top 12 side. They were pretty much felt like they were scoring with everything they were hitting. And eventually they'll become a pair where they might not score as many goals. That's where I do worry for them. But yeah, very interesting time. Look, nothing against Lincoln. Look, I've been very fair on Lincoln, all very complimentary. It's one defeat, 2 and 3 if you want to go at it. But I just feel there's going to be a lot of moments in games where you might draw 1-1, or those games. I don't see Lincoln getting better.
I can only see Lincoln getting better.
I can't see Lincoln's results getting better.
I can. That's where we differ, because the performances have been better than the results. So I think, I take your point, but I don't think. I think this team are playing at 65% at this minute in time. I think this team can get way better.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for another donation, Daniel, who's come in. I think Nolan Sacking been coming for a long time. We just 3 minutes.
Probably wants to talk about Reading, doesn't he? Should we do so?
Yeah, we are doing. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you very much for becoming a member as well. And Daniel actually became our 49th YouTube member.
Come on, one more.
Come on, let's one more than 50. If you could help us out, that'd be appreciated. Thank you very much. Noel Hunt was sacked. One defeat in 8, but 3 wins in 14. Reading sit in that bottom half picture and struggling for form. 15 points from 14. Look, they are only 3 points behind Doncaster, who they played yesterday. They did win on Tuesday. They've only lost 5, but they've only won 3. They've drawn 4 of the last 6. Noel, it almost felt the inevitable was going to happen, didn't it, really? It's been coming, and then they get a result, and they've been drawn a lot. It feels to me they've lost the fight, they've lost the flair, they've lost their animosity since the takeover, and that was the spirit that they were playing on that they've not got now.
Yeah, to be honest, they play like they have no, like you say, no identity. Like I say, I watched them on Tuesday. I thought they were fortunate to win that game. It's almost like they're relying on a moment of magic from Lewis Wing, right? And we've said this before, haven't we? It's not ideally sustainable for a team, and certainly a team that want to go and achieve something in this league like Reading do. They did it last season, so why can't they do it again? I just don't see an identity. I mean, they were trying at times on Tuesday to play the ball out of the back, then they were trying to go long and trying to play out wide and get crosses in, and it looked like a manager that knew he was in a little bit of trouble. And yesterday, again, I've seen the highlights back, and it feels the same way. Not many attacking highlights other than the goal, which comes from Kamari Doyle, which I think takes a huge amount of luck. But Doncaster had really big moments in this game, certainly at the start of the second half, where they got through the first 45. They weathered the storm. That it was more like a light sprinkle of rain rather than a storm. Which, when you go to the Reading, I mean, how long ago was it, Ben? We were talking about Reading having one of the best home records in League One. I remember they won maybe like 20 games at home in 2024 or something. They were outstanding. But you don't go to Reading anymore and fear it. You go to Reading and you can play a little bit like Oakwell before Conor Hourihane took over. I get them sort of vibes. And
so now. One clean sheet in 26 for Barnsley.
Yeah, look, I don't know if the stats line that up, but that's just as a general comment. That's sort of how it feels like going to Reading at the moment. And I think Doncaster had their moments. They took one with Billy Sharp. It's a great finish. But yeah, I do worry. I do worry for them. I mean, obviously they've sacked Noel Hunt, which I'm sure you want to get on to, but. Yeah, I mean, like we've said before, right? It's got Matt Bloomfield's name on it, that chair, and like the Coegs, they've got Phil Catchpole. Like, I can just see it now, closing my eyes. Welcome to Reading FC, Matt Bloomfield interview, Phil Catchpole interviewing Matt Bloomfield, and he'll say, "Blooms, good to be back, nice to see you." Do you know what I mean? I just had a vision about it, so. Yeah, I think ultimately it was the right decision for Reading. Noel Hunt, yes, they've not been on a great run, but they've not been on a bad run. But there's no tactical vision. There's no adaptability. There's no set way of playing. I mean, you get Matt Bloomfield and you've got an identity. You've got to get in time. You maybe got to give him 18 months or whatever, like Wycombe did. But he's shown before that it can work. So, yeah, I think it was the right decision, unfortunately, in the end for Noel Hunt.
Yeah, Doncaster sit 12th somehow after the recent form. I think it's 5 defeats and 2 draws, no winning 7. But we're much better yesterday. 13 shots, 7 on target. Billy Sharp's goal was cancelled out by Kamari Doyle. Good team of individuals. Rely on a bit of quality from Lewis Wing, who got another assist yesterday. Paddy Lane, Savage. I just don't feel they often get enough. And I often feel that a 1-1 has bailed them out a little bit, and they can get so much more, but they're being held back a little bit. Club legend status, I think that if there was nothing to do with him before he came in, he'd been long gone. I think that's the reason why. And the Wigan, I don't think are rash with anything like that. But we're stuck with Ainsworth for the bumps and the tross that it came with. But I think that ultimately, when you walk into a football club and there's a manager in place that's not your man and a new owner takes over, it's how long they normally last, really. And not surprised with this one. 50, come on, Owen, my mate. Thank you very much.
Oh, man.
Appreciate that. Lots of EFL content over there coming. There's one this week, an EFL video on tomorrow or Tuesday, and then there's another one late in the week as well. So a couple of videos extra for you this week. And there's 84 people watching, and we're an hour and a half in. When I got sorted out, I wasn't expecting that. Stevenage 1, Bradford 1. No sides. I've got more points from losing positions than Stevenage in League One this season. 10, level with Cardiff. Also level with the most in the EFL, bear in mind. Tied with Cardiff City, Fleetwood Town. There we are. 1-1 against Bradford City. The two sides that have been competing really well. Good point for both. Bradford 7 out injured yesterday. Refereeing decisions baffled, but I thought Kemp was excellent. White with a screamer. It felt very much of a tussle.
Yeah, Sam Allison made it all about him. But what's the surprise in that, right? The bloke does TikToks where he shows off his new refereeing kit every season. Like, he's just the biggest definition of main character energy that I think I've ever seen, maybe bar one person. But yeah, a great... I think this is a good point for Bradford, really, on the road against Stevenage. Bradford haven't got many teams that are above them in the league table, so to get anything out of a team that is above them in the league, yes, they beat Cardiff, is still a decent result on the road. Great goal from Neil Burton to open the scoring, but yeah, like you say, Harvey White, stunning strike on that left peg, isn't it, into the corner. I think that's something that you could see in the Premier League. But yeah, I think the referee didn't really allow this game to flow. It could have been a game of a bit of an all-timer. Both teams high on confidence, having really good starts to the League One season. I think I do think it was a game ruined by a poor referee. There were free kicks being given one way and not the other. It did feel a little bit like he was trying to be the main man. But like I say, good result for both of them. They did, as well as taking a point, they stopped the other from getting 3 points, which is important, like you said about Bolton and Cardiff earlier in the piece as well. But yeah, big credit to Bradford fans selling out their allocation, made a lot of noise, really good away following, but I expect nothing less from Bradford. But yeah, it was a 1-1 draw, Ben. Not a lot happened apart from the 2 goals and a referee making a prat out of himself. But there we are.
Yeah, good question. Good comment from Charlie, actually, that I know keeps track of this. Lost away at Huddersfield, didn't they? Drew away at Mansfield, played Bradford, and then obviously lost to Lincoln in there. So, yeah, that's what I feel with Stevenage. I just feel that Stevenage has the bigger and better size they're playing. So I don't think it's effective. Whereas I think with Lincoln, it's a bigger and better size. It is effective. But when it comes to the tussles against sides maybe in and around them, that's where I think that's the difference in them a little bit. But look, we'll all disagree. Last game, Mansfield won, Wigan won. Wigan were robbed. Ultimately, there was a goal disallowed for a foul.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. Good ball
Yeah.
from Murray, Aimson puts it away.
Yeah.
Wigan find a way to get a point. Wigan have won one of the last 17 away, but drawn 10. They've drawn 11, sorry. They've only scored multiple in 2 of them. They need to sort that away form out quickly. Typical mid-table battle, this one.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I didn't think they were robbed. I thought it was a foul. I think you said, I think you see it given all the time, right? In the penalty area, defending teams. I think it doesn't take a lot.
Not given outside the penalty box.
Right? Yeah, but there's different rules in the penalty area, unfortunately, in football. I think the way football's going,
if that's given against Lincoln City, right?
Yeah, we're robbed.
And you know for a fact, young man, we'd be on there going, we were robbed, absolutely robbed. He goes though, but then if it's against, Dom Jeffrey in the box, he's absolutely pushed him.
Exactly. These things happen in the penalty area. These things happen, right? And I think he goes over a little bit softly, but I think he's well within his rights to go over. That's my opinion, right? I'm happy to take stick off the progress of Unity, lads, and I'm sure I will do from Barry and Paul and Charlie and Caroline Molyneux and all them.
Sorry.
We're not doing this again. Paul Thorpe. He's got no idea, has he? He's got no idea. Caroline Molyneux's just an innocent bystander in all this, bless her. I personally thought it was a foul, but I thought it was 2 decent sides. I did find it funny that Will Amerson thought it was a goal. He turned around. He still thought it was a goal. He pointed to the box, and then his face when he saw the referee, Seb Stocksbridge. I think it's I did find that hilarious. But a good point on the road for them. Mansfield have had a very good start to the season. To be fair to them, look, he's a Wigan fan, right? He's allowed to have that opinion. But I think if you're in that situation, you want your player to fall on the floor, and referees 9 times out of 10 are going to give that these days, the way football's going. So, good point for both. Good start to the season for Mansfield.
A big thank you to the 7 people that have joined the subscribing list today while joining the stream. If you fancy subscribing, helping the channel out, liking the stream, that'll be appreciated. 11 games done and dusted. Port Vale host Stockport tomorrow.
Oh, thank God we don't have that game to cover as well, because this could have been a 3-hour show.
Big game for Stockport, who can go top of the league. I'm not going to go. I'm just going to top of the league if they win tomorrow, but can also go up to stay fourth with a draw, and all 4 clubs will be on 26 points in the top 4. A point for Vale would take them, a point off Burton Albion in the relegation zone. Vale have ultimately got 11 points from the last 5 and sit in the bottom 4, but a win for Port Vale tomorrow night could take them all the way up to 17th, and then only 3 points off Huddersfield Town and Mansfield in the top half of the table. So big game at Vale Park tomorrow. Predictions, Jake?
Yes. Well, Ben, obviously there was a game in midweek which someone nailed the score for. I don't know if it was you or it was me. Oh,
you.
It was me.
I did these.
Yeah.
Went through
you went for 1-1, and admittedly, had the female referee given a penalty for a handball.
I like the way you mentioned female referee.
I thought she was good, apart from the penalty decision, to be honest.
Was it Rebecca Walsh?
No, it wasn't. I can't remember her name, but she was good. I thought she was good. The Lana didn't help her out. You probably would have got 3 points, and I wouldn't have got any. But such is life. That narrowed the gap to 6 points. And then this weekend, Ben. So far, obviously, we haven't finished the game week, right? So we can't say it for certain. 5 for you this week so far, included stupidly, Ben. And this is completely my fault. We didn't give a score prediction for Reading Doncaster. I completely forgot it. I watched over the video. I had no idea. I literally.
That should be a point for me because you're in control. Hang on.
No.
I've gone 1-1. No. Maybe. I get a point for that because you're.
No, I'm sorry you don't.
No, you stopped me from getting a point.
So, I also stopped myself.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, but
if
you beat me by 1 point,
eh?
you stopped me getting a point. I'd have got
Oh,
1 all.
yeah, but don't worry, it's gonna be more than a point, mate. Don't worry about that.
That is a load. If I did that to you, you'd be asking for a point.
No, yeah, but we didn't predict. Neither of us predicted.
Oh my God! Never known anyone stand up for them. Oh my God!
Anyway, point is, you got 5. I got 9, including 2 correct scores. Did you get a correct score?
Joke.
I think
Joke.
Just check. You did get a correct score, Ben. Burton Albion.
Joke.
I got 2. I got the Wigan Mansfield score right. So thanks, referee, for disallowing that goal. Big up. And I got the Stevenage score right as well. So, yeah, fantastic. Now, Ben, this is your chance to retaliate. Okay, so enjoy this. We've only got 2 games, and I have double checked on Tuesday night because I know what you're going to be like. Are you sure there's 2 games and not 3, so you don't have to read them all out? You're going to be denying me more points, right? Point of this, right? So you can predict this one first, Ben. And I know what you're going to do because you're going to try and wind me up. Bradford City versus Lincoln City at Valley Parade.
I've got a feeling you'll win.
No, don't say that because I don't.
No, I do.
Oh,
Or draw.
When you predict us to win, we never win.
Draw. I've got a thought process here. Do I want you to get points or... I don't mind singing. I've done that in James Bell the last 2 games.
Oh, Parmex, will you clear off? Honestly.
Do I want you to win or do I want points? No, Bradford 2, Lincoln 1.
It's cool. That's what I wanted, but it's fine.
Score first, after the first 5 minutes, sit back and they'll score 2 against you. Or you'll lose 1-0 in the last minute like we did.
Why not? Do you know what? Someone's got to win at Valley Parade, don't they? Someone's got to do it. Bradford City 0, Lincoln City 2. Let's have it. Come on. Let's have it, right? Someone's got to make a statement, yeah? Port Vale do us a favour on Monday. We'll go top of the league on Tuesday. Fantastic.
You can go top of the league.
If Stockport don't get any points on Monday, so Port Vale win.
Oh my God.
We can go on to 27 points, which would be top of the league.
What? God, that would be.
By the way, so as I've said it all season, all season,
thank God
come on, Port Vale.
There's no show next week.
Yeah, as I've said it for a long time. Come on, Port Vale. Big fans of the Valiants. Come on, Port Vale. Anyway, Mansfield. Yeah, Seb Stocksbridge. I've had enough beef with him, but bless him, he's been all. I tell you what, Charlie, we had Seb Stocksbridge at your place a couple of years ago, and he disallowed a goal for handball, which wasn't handball, and I loved him ever since. So thanks, Seb. Mansfield versus Plymouth is the only other game, right? It's the only other game. So I'm going to go Stags 2, Argyle 1.
1 each.
Fairs. There we are. That's it. I'm just going to double check on BBC Sport, right? So you don't have a go at me.
I'm only seeing Bradford Lincoln here.
Eh?
I'm only seeing Bradford Lincoln here.
What, on the BBC page?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, hang on. No, yeah, that's why. Because I was on... Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Is that right?
We'll
anyway, big day tomorrow, Ben.
Why are you leaving the show?
You wish. No, I'm leaving this.
Hang on. We've got 2 more games.
You what?
There's no show next week. So we've got Rotherham and Burton.
Oh, have we got to do that one now, have we?
Yeah, there's no show next week.
If that's the case, Ben, if that's the case,
yeah,
we've got to do all the next 2 weeks' time as well.
Yeah. Cheat.
I thought we could just do them between us, like next week after we've had the FA Cup game or something, because there's a game in between.
Oh, we sent you a text.
That's what I mean. We can send a text with all our predictions and we can screenshot it and then you can put them on the show at the start or whenever before we do prediction. I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. But if you want to, mate, if you want to predict all them now.
Look. I'll win by being good at what I do. You cheat.
Do you want
to be Lincoln?
I tell you what then.
No, it's fine. No, we'll send it to
what a surprise. I'm happy to predict them now, mate, if you've got the bottle to do it.
Go on then.
Okay, we're going to go through it, are we?
Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
All right, sound. Rotherham versus Burton Albion then on the 4th of November. Who cares?
1-1.
This is a really difficult one because there's the cup games in between, isn't there? I really want Burton to run Rotherham ragged on that Tuesday night because we play them on the Saturday. They drew 2-2 last season, so I'm not going to go for 2-2. I'm going to go for.
You like wearing 2-2s, don't you?
I do like drawing. Yeah, I do. Rotherham 1, Burton 0.
We'll just do the other.
Because the Thursday is part of the weekend's game week, so we've got to do that. If we're doing that one, we've got to do all the other league games.
No, that's what I mean. We'll wait now. We'll just do that game and we'll do the other one.
Oh, okay. We'll do the other ones privately, will we?
Yeah.
Is that right? Cheat. Have it back. Cheat. It's not me, everyone. I want to predict.
There we are.
I want to predict them. Hey.
Well, if you want to predict them, let's do it.
I want to predict it.
Let's go.
Let's go. We might as well prolong this show as long as we can, haven't we?
We need 2 hours.
Thursday night football for the third consecutive week. Yeah, because we did have one the Huddersfield Bolton, wasn't it, the other week? Reading, Stevenage, 8 o'clock kickoff at the Madstad. First league game you'd imagine for the new man,
Matt Bloomfield.
Yeah, Matt Bloomfield.
Where he got set, his last game was against Stevenage.
Wow.
2-1 Reading.
Oh, you little swine. You little swine. 2-0 Reading. Why not? Paulie O'Connor, because he loves scoring against Stevenage. Why not?
Hang on, you went first, didn't you? Because I went first on Rotherham. Oh, well. Got it.
Oh, well. I'll go first for the next two then. Northampton versus Mansfield. I'm going Cobblers. Oh no, Mansfield won earlier last season, didn't they? I think it's the ground they've got good success in. I know I like Northampton, so I'm going to go Cobblers 1, Stags 2.
Northampton 2. It's not Mansfield 0.
Wycombe versus Orient. Then I'm going to go first for this one because you did those two first. So I'm going to go Wycombe Wanderers 2, Leyton Orient 0.
2-1 Wycombe.
Ben, coming to you for your favourite ever football team, Blackpool versus Cardiff.
Blackpool 2, Cardiff 1.
And there is my complete checklist of Ben backing Blackpool again.
Everton scored against Cardiff in the 09-10 season.
And you were there. Celebrating.
Don't know. Maybe.
Blackpool 0, Cardiff City 2. Me first for Bolton Port Vale. I'm going to go convincing win here for Bolton. Bolton Wanderers 3, Port Vale 0.
Bolton 2, Port Vale 0.
Ben, coming to you. Bradford City versus Burton Albion.
Bradford 2, Burton 0.
Yeah. Bradford 2, Burton 1. Someone's got to win at Valley Parade, but it won't be Burton Albion. That's getting clipped up. I know that. Doncaster versus Barnsley and another South Yorkshire derby. I'm going to go Doncaster Rovers 1, Barnsley 1.
Doncaster 3, Barnsley 1.
Oh, he's gone for a statement win for Donny Rovers. Exeter City versus Wigan. I'm going to go Exeter 2, Wigan 1.
Exeter 0, Wigan 1.
Ben, Huddersfield versus Plymouth Argyle.
2-1 Huddersfield.
Yeah, 1-0 Huddersfield. I think who have they got in the cup? Huddersfield. They've got Bolton, haven't they? I think he gets under pressure by going out of the cup, but I think he just about nicks a result against Plymouth. Peterborough versus Wimbledon. Oh, this is likely going to be Luke Williams in charge. Peterborough United 1, AFC Wimbledon 2.
Peterborough 1, Wimbledon 0.
Fair enough. Ben, coming to you for Rotherham United versus Lincoln City at the New York.
Rotherham 0, Lincoln 1.
We've got a bad record away at Rotherham. Rotherham United 2, Lincoln City 1. And finally, Ben, Stockport versus Luton.
Stockport 2, Luton 1.
Stockport 2, Luton 0. Yeah.
Right, okay. Now let's go on to Boxing Day.
Yeah, Boxing Day. I don't know where you're away at Tranmere, aren't you, on Boxing Day? And we're away at
right. What a show. An hour and 45 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Jake, for coming on, mate.
No worries, mate. Thanks for wishing me all the best with the house move. I appreciate that.
I wish you well before.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Should have a new backdrop. We're not doing a show next week because it's Cup week.
No.
But we'll have a show the week after. Should be all in my new flat, so we should have a little bit, hopefully, of a backdrop on there rather than just a
yeah, Jake, good luck with your house move, mate. All the best with it. Thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for coming on as always.
No stress.
Without you, mate, it wouldn't be a show. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Like and subscribe on your way out. Big thank you for everyone that has watched, subscribed, commented, liked, donated. Daniel, Shane, thank you very much. Thank you for those that became members. Appreciate you. And a big thank you for everyone that stuck the stream going. Until next time, I will see you later. Night all. Oh, what a show, eh? What a show indeed.
Night.
As Al Mazzuni heads home. Night, Lincoln.
Oh, you funny. Well done, mate. You beat a pub team yesterday. Congrats.
Like we did 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, pub team.
And we'll keep beating those pub team, mate, and hopefully one day we'll be on here.
Hopefully one day we'll be on.
Takes one to know a pub team, mate.
Yeah, it does, mate. I know about Burton Albion. Hashtag pub.
Oh, right. They won yesterday. You didn't.
Yeah. Got more points than them, though, haven't we? And we beat them twice. So.
Irrelevant. Bye.
Oh.